My name is Angela Zugu, and today we'll be talking about different types of love or love styles that we experience in our marriage. So a lot of time, your wife might just be telling you, hi, darling, I don't feel loved anymore. And the man, in the other way, might just be thinking, what does she really mean? I keep up with the family expectations, right? I make sure that the routines in the family are being met. I do whatever I can do to make sure that everything is going on. Finances is intact. I keep up with the school runs, so many domestic chores. I do all this. So why would I make sure I take care of her? Why is she saying that I don't feel loved? And even men at times will say, I don't feel attractive to you anymore. I'm not that I don't feel loved even by you. So men say the same thing. So what people are really saying, from my own understanding, is that at different stage of our marriage or different stages of our marriage, we tend to experience love differently by everyone. So when we first go through life pressure, when the stage of life we find ourselves, or in marriage, or the phase of marriage we experience at that time, might tend to determine how we feel love again in our marriage. So it's a normal thing. People experience this thing, but it's very important to begin to know, where is this actually coming from? What do you really mean when you say, I don't feel loved? Or even when I say, oh, I love you. What do you really mean? What emotion is going through you? What are you experiencing at that time? I don't feel love. What does that really mean? Where are you coming from? Because a lot of time, your partner may not understand where exactly you are coming from. What is it that you are trying to explain or demonstrate to me that I don't feel love? By what standard that you don't feel love? Because I know that I do my best as a husband. I supply your needs. I try my best to cater and care for you. So when you tell me that I don't feel love, I get thrown off. What does that really mean? So I feel that at that time, when a wife will tell a man, her husband, that she does not feel loved anymore, it means that she is coming from a different perspective. She is coming from a different place. It's not the time for you to begin to list the things you do in the family or the things you do for her. It simply means that I don't feel emotionally connected anymore. I don't feel your presence. I don't get your attention. You might be doing everything for me, but I feel alone. I feel empty. Something is not really, together. Something is not together. I feel abandoned. I feel it. Even when you are physically there with your wife, she is telling you that I don't feel loved. And same thing for men. That's why they can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I am done with this marriage. I want a divorce. Why? Because they don't feel loved anymore. They don't maybe feel attractive to you or attracted to you anymore. They don't feel anything good about you anymore. The marriage does not interest them anymore. They don't feel loved either. Or maybe they don't know how to express that emotion. They may just say, I want a divorce. I want out. So the bottom line is this. When you get married to a man, the way we feel love will change from time to time, from moment to moment. We are going to experience love for sure in quite different ways. And that's why we have different love languages. Some people feel love by touch, feel love by spending time, by communicating, spending quality time, but by giving gifts. We all have different ways by which we experience or feel love. However, we also have different love styles. And this model was developed by Robert Sternberg. He made a love model. And in this model, it's all about a triangle that has three components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. So at every stage in your life, the amount of love in the area of that triangle, the amount of love you feel with your husband or with your spouse, will determine how big or small the triangle might look like. So if the triangle is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, it means that the love you have for each other at that time of your marriage is going down. It's shrinking down. It's no longer equal, or things are no longer the way they're supposed to be. And then he wants further to begin to analyze or explain that at every stage in your relationship, there are different types of love styles that you might experience. One of it might be passion. And in the area of passion, you may have passion and intimacy at that time in your marriage. So the three components of the triangle, only two might tend to be strong. The other one might not be strong. So one leg will be shorter. So we have intimacy and commitment. And it has a different name. I'm going to do a new video where I'm going to explain all this model in detail. But the bottom line is that at a different stage or style or like different phase of your marriage, you might experience different loves. Yeah, intimacy and passion might be the major thing in your marriage, or what your spouse is experiencing or what she needs at that time. Therefore, the one leg of the triangle might be shorter, maybe commitment. And some people will begin to experience intimacy and commitment, but the other one, romance, which is passion and intimacy, might be very few or small in that at that time. So, in other words, the three components of love, which is intimacy, passion, and commitment, are not equal. They don't have equal size of the triangle. And so, at each time of our life, at the phase of our life, people might be experiencing intimacy and commitment. The other one will be on a very low side. And so, the goal is to make sure that couples, at every stage of their life, which sometimes might not be possible, will maintain the same type of, not the same type, but I want to say maintain intimacy, passion, and commitment. These three components of love should be the same, should be equal in your marriage. And now, attaining that goal is important. However, the main thing here is maintaining that love. It is called consummate love. Maintaining that consummate love at that level of your life, intimacy, passion, and commitment are all the same. At that time, maintaining it is a problem. Reaching the goal might not be a problem as such, but when you come to the aspect of maintaining that love, that intimacy and commitment in your relationship and passion, all three components of love are intact and they are the same and they are being maintained at every stages of your love, of your marriage. And so that is the whole essence of this video, is to let you know that what you experience in your relationship is that intimacy and passion might be what you need and the other one is not complete. And so our major goal is that we want all the three components of the love triangle to be complete in your relationship, so that you will begin to experience happiness, health, healthy relationship with your spouse. That is the whole goal of this triangle. And so do not beat yourself down or up because of maybe I don't feel loved. At that time, your wife or your spouse is saying that something is not complete in me. I need intimacy, I need passion, I need romance. And so being able to articulate what exactly each of you need when you say, I don't feel loved, is the utmost goal. How will I complement this? How do I want to come in to make sure that you feel loved? So at times, don't begin to defend yourself or begin to list of things that you do for her or him. Important thing is to ask important questions. How do I come in? Are these three components of love complete and maintained in my relationship? What is missing? What is lacking? Am I lacking in this aspect? It might be a good husband, committed, responsible, but you don't have passion, you don't have romance. And so your wife might be saying, I need romance at this time of my life. Or are you being forced with pressure? So many things are going on in your marriage and you are beginning to experience love in quite a different way. You also need to adjust and begin to understand that at this stage, I no longer need this kind of love, I need this type. So being able to adjust and being flexible and be able to meet each other's needs when it comes to loving your husband or loving your wife is what this video is all about. But you need to be aware that things are changing, things are not equal, things are moving from moment to moment. We see love in a different way. That's the number one goal, number one thing I need to understand. So we see and experience love in different ways based on what we experience in life, based on our challenges, based on the stage of marriage we are. That's another video I want to talk about. We have different stages in our marriage. Once you get married, you are moving from one stage to another stage. And at each of these stages, there are things you experience. There are the kind of love you experience in a different way. Okay? There are phases of life that begin to show up and begin to bring pressure and maybe disappointment. So many things begin to introduce unnecessary stress. And that will make the way you feel love to look differently. So my bottom goal for this video is that you should be aware of that. And your goal is to make sure that intimacy, passion, and commitment, all these three components of love triangle, are being maintained every day in your relationship. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.